Hey everyone, welcome to Empowered by Will. I'm Will, and I hope you guys appreciate the time I spent to overbrand. Well, in this video, I want to share a new segment that I made. It's called Wednesdays with Will. So every Wednesday, I plan on sharing a video or a message where I share stories, lessons, and values, and hopefully you can apply them in your life. In today's video, I want to talk about values. And I always share that Empowered by Will is a value-driven brand. We stand for pride, courage, and strength. But what are values? What does that even mean? So in this video, I'm going to define what values are, discuss why values are important, how you can identify your own values, and how you can apply them in your life. So I'm going to be referring to my clipboard down here. So you see me looking down, it's not because I'm nervous. So let's start. What are values? Values are those things that you believe that are important in your life and how you operate in life. And your values can help determine your priorities. And from that, a little bit more deeply, your values can be a form of measure to help you see if your life is the way that you want it to go. And I asked, have you ever just sat there and you just felt, man, life is good. It just feels right. But on the other hand, could it also be, man, something just doesn't feel right. I feel unbalanced. Something's out of place. Well, that's maybe because your values are not in alignment with how you're acting and behaving. And for an example, I value my family very much. But if my work requires me to work 70-hour weeks, then that's not in alignment with how I'm acting and behaving with what I value. And another example could be that maybe you're not a very competitive person, but you work in a highly competitive sales environment. What you value and how you're acting and behaving are not in alignment. And that could be a source of internal struggle. And from that can also lead to a form of unhappiness. So now that you know what values are, it's safe to say that values are important to understand and apply for yourself. So let's find out why are values so important now. Because we always face difficult paths in our situation. And from that, we always have questions arise, such as, should I take that job? Should I be firm or should I compromise in this situation? Or another one could be, should I go the traditional path laid out for me? Or should I create my own new path? And these are all very life-changing decisions that you have to answer. Your values can help you navigate through that and find your answer. And that's why values are so important. So now that you know what values are and why it's important, how can you identify your own values? So I want you to reflect. I want you to think back in your mind of a moment that brought you the most happiness. What were you doing that made you happy? Were you with anyone? If you were, who were you with? And what other factors contributed to this happiness? And the next reflection I want you to think about is, what moments did you feel the most proud? What were you doing that made you feel so proud? Did others share your pride? And what other factors contributed to you feeling so proud? And the next reflection, I want you to really think back, dig deep in your mind. What moment brought you the most fulfillment and satisfaction? What need did it fulfill? And how and why did that experience impact your life? So after you reflected on those three things, your moments of happiness, your moments of feeling proud, and your moments that made you feel fulfilled and satisfied, and have that in the forefront of your mind, I want you to do a simple Google search. Look up list of values or values list, whatever it may be, and click on the first link and you're going to find out 100 of words in a list, alphabetical order, sharing what value that you may value. And from that, I want you to find your top 3 to 5 values. For example, Empowered by Will, we value pride, courage, and strength. And that is to have pride in who you are and what you do, to have the courage to face your fears, and to have the strength to overcome your adversities. That's what we stand for. But what do you stand for? So find your top 3 to 5, put them in a list yourself, and now you feel that it's in alignment with who you are, you have to reaffirm them to yourself. When you see these values, do you feel good? Does it make you feel good to hear them? Do you feel confident in sharing that with the people you respect and admire? And more importantly, would you stand for your values even if you're the only person standing? These are very important questions to identify what your values are and what you feel fits your life in the current situation you are. So to you watching this video, today we've discussed what values are, why it's important, how you can find out your values, and how you can apply them in your life. I want you to understand too, in this life, we always face moments where we don't know where we're going. And that's with everyone. But because we don't know where we're going, our values can serve as a compass to lead us. And through that, I also want to share that values are a stable force, but they're not limited. They have no set limits or boundaries. And throughout the course of your life, your values may change depending on your certain situation and circumstances. And there's no such thing as prioritizing right or wrong values. We always have ups and downs in our lives. We always make good decisions and we always can make poor decisions. But through that, there's still our own values that allow us to decide, as long as you're not living through other people's ideals. So now I want you to identify your values and keep going until you win. Wrap up, I'm very curious to hear what your values are. So join the conversation by commenting below. And in addition to that, if you liked this video and you felt it helped you identify your values, please share, follow, and turn your post notifications, because together we can help others become empowered by their will with pride, courage, and strength.